And Holiday kicks to Evans. Lets it go from deep. That's good from Holiday on the assist by Evans. That's now 8 points for Jrue Holiday.
Very positive opening quarter for them. The shots have been falling.
You know, the shooting percentage would be nice if it stayed right there, but that's going to be tough to do.
Here's Baller. Drains it from 17 feet out. Baller's got his second bucket of the night. New Orleans has gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. Outside Holiday. It's Salmons on the wing. Trying to find Davis. He's got it now. Another one falls for New Orleans.
Heads up play there, guys, on the assist and the finish.
The Magic trail by 6. Baller guarded by Holiday. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2. Already it's February. Hard to believe. Let's see how the West is matching up. Taking a look at Oklahoma City. Very strong season they've had. Always at or near the top of the conference. And right now they're in first place in contention for that. Exactly where they want to be as they close in on the postseason. And, of course, the Pelicans just way behind.
You know, right now for the Pelicans, they've really struggled much the same way they did a year ago. It just hasn't gotten much better for them.
Clark, for me, they didn't show a whole lot of fight when the tide turned against them, and that's what the NBA is all about. It's about getting off the mat because adversity is going to hit every single team. It's always how you respond that's important.
Baller. It's rebounded by New Orleans. They defeated Indiana in their last game.
Yeah, it didn't seem to be much of a challenge for them in that game. It seemed like they scored at will. Not much defense that they were facing.
Yep, they had the defense on its heels actually nearly the entire game, and no matter what unit was out there, looked like a mismatch.
And he just used his height that time down low. That's going to be pretty hard to defend against.
Wow!
Boy, ends the quarter with a dead-eye 3 as the buzzer sounds.
They had that set up, I think, Steve, and he timed it perfectly.
And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. Now let's take a moment to get your guys' take on the scoring so far. And they're going with an almost entirely new group here. Maurice Harkless is checked in for Vucevic. Oladipo comes in for Evan Fournier. Baller, he's checked in for Ben Gordon. And it's Peyton in for Luke Rittenauer. So the Pelican 5 right now. Evan power forwards. Salmon's out there with Holiday. And it's Ashik in at the pivot spot, manning the middle.
And in the paint, they have really shown some strength. Their work on the boards has been phenomenal.
Yeah, it certainly.
Evans dishes to Salmons. Here's Davis. Excellent D there from Baller. Salmons, no luck.
Great look. Disappointing result.
You know, most times he knocks that one down.
Baller guarded by Holiday. And he trims the lead to single digits. And that's 13 points for Baller.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Evans up top. A 14-point game for him in the win against Indiana.
And, Kevin, don't forget about his playmaking in that game as well. He was wonderful in terms of attacking the defense and figuring out when to shoot and when to find teammates.
The shot's good from Baller.
Defensively, they're really scattered right now, giving up so many open looks from the three-point line.
Yeah, they are splashing them. Their last 3 buckets have all come from behind the arc.
Davis setting the pick for Holiday. On the wing, Evans. Outside Holiday. Shot clock at 6. Unloads from 13. Rebound by the Magic. Fry's got his 3rd rebound tonight. Puts up a 3. Pelicans pull it in. Holiday's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Here's Davis. Yes, and it's Holiday with the assist that time. Holiday's got his 5th assist in this one. Here's Baller. The shot no good. The clock runs out, and we're heading to halftime. Pelicans lead by 8. We're going to step away briefly, but get you right back out here for the start of the third quarter after our halftime.
Okay, let's get it together, guys. We're not that far out of it, and it's not going to take much to get this building going again. Listen up. Our rebounding has not been acceptable. It's going to take more than a medium effort to win the battle on the boards, and so far that's the only effort I've seen. The other sore spot was our lack of scoring in the low post. We can't let them bottle us up down there in the second half. Let's get guys open on the perimeter. We got to have good spacing, good player movement off the ball, and good movement of the ball itself. I do not want to see a repeat of those first 2 quarters. Let's play like the team we are, not the team we were in the first half. I don't know who that was, but it's not us.
And now the third quarter about to get going.
Some excellent numbers in this one for Baller. 16 points, and he sprayed home 3 3-pointers as well.
Yeah, productive day for him from long range.
Entirely new group here. Gordon's checked in for Vucevic. Fournier comes in for Maurice Harkless. Ben Gordon's checked in for Oladipo. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Payton. Gordon out there with Channing Frye. Then there's Gordon. Then it's Evan Fournier. And it's Ridnour in at the point. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Magic.
This New Orleans team is now in their second season as the Pelicans. The name, which was subject to some critique early on, has actually turned out to be nice for the franchise with a new group of players, new ownership, and it fits nicely into creating a new identity.
Baller, he's checked in for Luke Ridnour. Drew Holiday is checked in for New Orleans. All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, over that break, I listened in on what head coach for the Magic was getting across in the huddle. He told his guys their offense needed to run through Baller. Coach is looking for him to take on a lot of responsibility when they've got the ball, to be a leader at the offensive end. Another part of what he said to them centered on his desire to see them shooting the ball every opportunity that presents itself. He said, fire away, guys. You've got the green light. Well, they need to make something happen before the start of the fourth quarter, and maybe those changes will do the trick, Kevin.
Thanks again, Doris. He hits the second from the line. When you talk about the Pelican mascot, Steve, wingspan, a term that definitely applies to this team and the young Anthony Davis.
Yeah, it's a great name. You know, Davis was last year's leading shot blocker to go with 20 points and 10 boards a game. I mean, this guy is a potential superstar and obviously the key for this club moving forward.
So it's Orlando now. Gordon kicks to Fournier. Holiday brings the double team. 6 to shoot. Gordon for 3. Kept alive. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
And the defense looking to protect the rim at all costs.
Yeah, I like that. A foul to save the layup. Make him earn it at the line.
And the Magic making a change here. Vucevic is checked in. And the Pelicans making a change here as well. And Anthony Davis is checked in for Withey.
You have to wonder, it's certainly worth thinking about with the way Anthony Davis took a big step forward last year. There's a legitimate argument or discussion anyway that he might eventually become the best player in the league at some point.
Pelicans leading by 11. Rivers passes to Holiday. Feeds it to Anderson. Back to Holiday. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. 6 seconds left to play in the third. Here's Baller. And it would have counted had it fallen, but it's offline. And it's time now to bring you our State Farm assist of the game.
This was an exceptional pass, guys, and we see the result. It hits him in stride, and bam, the slam dunk.
So the Pelican 5 right now. Davis and Asik patrol the paint. Holiday and it's Salmons in at the 3 slot.
All game long, guys.
More. I mean, they've had a major advantage.
It's go time.
Comes in for Nikola Vucevic. And Gordon subbed in for Gordon. And then for New Orleans, Anderson comes in for Omer Asik. And Tyreke Evans subbed in for John Salmons. Payton kicks to Harkless. Five to shoot. Back to Payton. At the top of the key, Harkless. That's in, coming off an assist from Payton. Harkless has got it back down to within single digits for Orlando. For the Magic, Vucevic checked in for Gordon. And it's Baller in for Payton. And then for New Orleans, Omer Asik. He's checked in for Anderson. And it's Salmons in for Tyreke Evans. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Guys, over that last break, I listened to Monty Williams address his team. He wanted his guys to keep up the intensity, saying, if any of you think this game is over, you're wrong. We've got work to do. I don't want to see any letdown on the defensive end of the floor. Guys, let's watch how it plays out.
And a look at how the offensive approach has been going here so far for the Pelicans.
Well, it's been an outstanding game for them in the open court. Their fast break points really stand out.
Well, it seems to me that they're taking a lot of pride in their rebounding tonight, especially at the offensive end, guys.
Harkless the pass to Baller. From 11 feet away. Can't get it to go. Now New Orleans will take it the other way.
You know, he just hasn't looked right to me. A bit out of sorts, if you will. Something's off with his mechanics, at least as I look at it.
Inside to Vucevic. Knocked away.
And you got to like the defense inside, really protecting the rim.
Challenging shots and making his presence felt around the rim, that's exactly what he can give you.
And that's a foul called on Baller. That'll be his second foul of the game. Fredette kicks to Holiday. And count the basket. He was fouled, and he's going to the line for one more.
Beautiful job angling his body, shielding the big man from the ball on his way to the basket.
That's really the only way to do it if you're going to take it down there amongst the tall trees.
They really want to find that igniter here.
Yeah, that's right. Kevin, the offense has basically been running in place.
They got to get going. And the basket good. Well, Clark, they can burn some clock if they want to.
Yeah, and maybe buy a little oxygen while they're doing it.
Here's Fredette. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And he cannot get the first one to drop. Tough one to miss. 2 shots. And he's good on the second.
Looking at the game for Jimmer Fredette, he has 8 points, then his huge assist tally makes it all the more impressive.
Well, and he's got this team in such a good groove right now. The way he's moving the ball and passing, getting everybody involved, they're in a great flow.
And that's pretty much how this game has gone. They've controlled the boards and look to come away with the win right here.
Great work hitting in the shooter's face and then getting back to the boards to grab the rebound.
Oh, good from Baller.
He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And now just watching the clock wind down and what will turn out to be a win here for the Pelicans.
Looks that way, Steve. And Clark, what an effort in the transition game we've seen tonight from these guys. Really pushed the ball, and I think in doing so created a lot of pressure on the defense.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I mean, they definitely had a huge edge, and that's in their DNA, to push the pace and to apply pressure from an offensive standpoint. When they run the ball and dictate the flow of the offense like we've seen here, these are exactly the kind of games they can play.
That's fun basketball to watch.
It sure is. It sure is.
And I think a great job in positioning themselves for the W here. It's win number 21 on the season.
And a one-sided season series this has been. I mean, in the final game of the year between these two teams, they do everything necessary to finish up with a 2-0 record against the Magic.
And you have to look back at this and see what a huge game it's been for Holiday. Every time there was a big possession or big play, he was contributing in some manner. Just a great game for him.
Well, Tyreek, a very...
I don't know about you, but this ain't what I signed up for.
It's one loss. What you gonna do?
What am I gonna do? I'm gonna work harder, do whatever it takes to get this team back on track. Nobody expects us to dominate this league or even contend for a title, but we sure gonna be better than this. You wanna continue to slide? Be my guest. Me? I ain't gonna have it.
Chill, man. Nobody wants to lose. The season has a rhythm. We still got time to get it together. We gonna be straight. We all right. Relax.
Yeah, man. Just had to get that off my chest.
Good.
I was in town with another one of my clients, Dante Exum, and had to see if the rumors were true. Guess they are. New digs. Look who's moving up in this world. I'm sure you already know Dante, the biggest player to come out of Australia since ever. He can run the point, move over to the two-guard, whatever anybody needs. He's about to take the league by storm.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
And this is the man I was telling you about, Dante. Destined to be the biggest undrafted success in the history of the league. Ballin', making money, going places.
Maybe, but he's gonna have to go through me to get there.
Ha! Boy, you acting like that's a challenge.
Take it however you want. You see what I mean on the court.
Fellas, let's keep it cordial. We're all in the same money-making family here.
Yo, I go by the name of Pharrell from the Neptunes, and I just want to let y'all know